The metamorphosis of suffering into a source of strength is a personal and challenging journey that plunges us into the depths of our own existence. On this journey, we bravely face adversity by unearthing the traumatic experiences that remain hidden deep within our being. As the architects of our lives, we look to every wound for the opportunity to grow and empower ourselves. It is not a path of comfort, but a path marked by resilience and self-knowledge, where scars become witnesses of our strength. Here, suffering acts as a catalyst, propelling us toward a new dawn. Every tear shed nourishes the seeds of our transformation. In this process, fragility merges with strength, and the shadows of the past become the foundation of our future growth. We are not defined by our wounds, but by the resilience we show in healing them. Our suffering becomes a testament to our ability to overcome, a narrative of rebirth. The path of turning pain into strength challenges us to look deep within ourselves with honesty and compassion, to embrace the broken parts of our being, and to rebuild ourselves with love. Each traumatic experience becomes a mirror that reflects our ability to heal and evolve. We remember that we are exceptional beings, capable of finding light in the midst of darkness. On this journey of self-discovery, we find that your strength lies not in the lack of pain, but in the way you embrace it and make it your source of energy. Each obstacle overcome and wound healed brings us closer to wholeness and authenticity. Transforming pain into strength is an ongoing journey, an eternal journey toward the expansion of your being. Acceptance of pain marks the beginning of your transformation. By acknowledging that pain is an inherent part of human life, you take the first step on your journey to inner strength. On this journey, she understands that we all, at some point, experience the weight of suffering, difficult moments, deep losses, and wounds that leave scars, both physical and emotional. Instead of evading the pain, he bravely embraces it and confronts it head-on. Acceptance is not a sign of weakness, but of deep wisdom. It assumes that pain is a component of the tapestry of life, a shadow that enriches and contrasts our moments of joy and happiness. Through acceptance, you release resistance and allow pain to flow through your being instead of getting stuck deep within your being. This first step places her on the path of transformation, as a true fighter for life. Learn to face pain without fear, understanding that in doing so, you do not weaken, but strengthen. Every wound he accepts becomes a testament to his ability to face adversity with courage. Acceptance is the gateway to the alchemy of pain, where every painful experience becomes an essential ingredient in the recipe for your strength. As she progresses on this journey, she discovers that acceptance of pain is the foundation upon which she builds her resilience and personal growth. He neither denies nor represses, but integrates pain into his story, turning it into a stepping stone to inner strength. Pain, that defiant teacher, reveals its powerful lessons. Every painful experience conceals valuable lessons, like treasures hidden in the depths of your soul. In the face of suffering, he begins to understand his innermost vulnerabilities, but he also unearths strengths that lay dormant deep within him. Grief becomes a mirror that reflects her personal boundaries, drawing a line in the sand that challenges her to overcome her own barriers. Reflecting on the lessons that pain brings us is like unraveling the enigmas of an ancient scroll. Every mark on the skin, every tear shed, every sleepless night, carries with it a narrative, a message from the cosmos. It drives us to look inward and ask ourselves who we are and who we could become. Through reflection on our painful experiences, we find the path to personal growth and evolution. Suffering becomes the crucible where we forge the essence of our strength. Each assimilated teaching becomes a treasure that enriches our essence, a pearl of wisdom that is added to the necklace of our experience. In the course of this learning process, we discover that pain is not an adversary, but a silent teacher. It challenges us to examine our beliefs, to push our own limits, and to discover immense inner potential. To learn from painful experiences is to open a door to a universe of self-discovery and transformation. Resilience, that admirable virtue of the human spirit, reveals itself as a beacon of hope in the midst of storms. It is the ability to bend without breaking, to adapt and recover in the face of the adversities that life throws in our path. When grief looms over us, resilience emerges like a light in the darkness. Facing pain becomes the forge where we temper our resilience. As warriors of life, we learn to overcome seemingly insurmountable obstacles, to dance with uncertainty, and to move forward even when everything seems to be shrouded in shadows. Resilience is the treasure we unearth from the depths of our being, a precious jewel that shines with every painful experience overcome. Every time we pick ourselves up from a fall, every time we face an overwhelming loss and find the strength to keep going, our resilience is strengthened. It is not a quality that arises from comfort and complacency, but a virtue that grows through suffering and overcoming. Resilience stands as the pillar on which we forge our inner strength, like an orchard that flourishes in the midst of adversity. It is the strength that allows us to courageously embrace pain and emerge transformed. In every painful experience, we find the opportunity to nurture and cultivate our resilience. Empathy, that invisible bond that intertwines women's hearts, is woven with the threads of shared pain. When suffering touches us, it connects us deeply to our own vulnerability, reminding us that we are fragile, but also powerful. However, the most precious gift that grief bestows on us is the ability to empathize with those who, like us, face similar trials. Through understanding the suffering of others, she is born as a beacon of compassion that illuminates the dark paths of those who struggle with pain. We understand that, although our experiences are unique, we all share a common ground in the field of humanity, the experience of suffering. Empathy becomes the bridge that connects our souls, a force that drives us to offer a helping hand, a shoulder to lean on. Not only does she unite us with others, but she also becomes a source of strength. By compassionately joining those who are suffering, we weave a network of support that strengthens us mutually. The shared pain becomes a lighter burden, and the journey becomes less lonely. She reminds us that we are interconnected beings, that our hearts beat in unison in the symphony of life. It's a reminder that even though the pain can be overwhelming, we are never alone in our struggle. We support each other, sharing the weight of suffering and finding comfort in shared companionship. Pain, like a stern but effective teacher, has the power to plunge us into the depths of our existence and question the purpose that guides our lives. In times of suffering, we are compelled to reflect on our goals and priorities, to explore the deepest layers of our being in search of a higher meaning. This forced introspection, like a journey through the shadowy recesses of our soul, gives us the opportunity to reevaluate our trajectories and seek a clearer, more authentic purpose. Pain becomes a catalyst, a spark that ignites the flame of the search for meaning in life. The redefinition of our purpose is not a random act, but a profound and moving process. By harnessing pain as a driving force, we find a powerful source of strength and resolve. Every obstacle, every wound, is integrated into our narrative of transformation. Instead of being overcome by grief, we become architects of our destiny, forging a purpose that resonates with our deepest values and our most genuine vision. This journey of redefining purpose resembles a rebirth in the midst of suffering, a resurgence of the soul. It reminds us that, even in the darkest moments, we are able to find a path illuminated by a more radiant inner light. Adversity becomes a source of inspiration, and pain becomes the impulse that guides us to a deeper and more meaningful meaning in life. Personal transformation, as a phenomenon of soul alchemy, can arise through pain. Often, when we go through painful experiences, we plunge into a crucible of profound change. This suffering acts as a catalyst, a factor that triggers a process of personal growth that transcends the limits of what we thought possible. From the ashes of pain, we emerge transformed, with a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Every tear shed, every obstacle overcome, brings us deeper wisdom. The wound becomes a source of knowledge, and the scar becomes a testament to our journey of self-discovery. The personal transformation that arises from pain is like a rebirth of the spirit. We face our shadows, our deepest fears, and find the strength to move forward with renewed determination. Adversity doesn't break us, it molds us into stronger, more conscious, and more resilient beings. This internal metamorphosis becomes an enduring sustenance of strength. Every painful experience we overcome becomes a step on the ladder of our evolution. Personal transformation is not an ephemeral process, but a constant journey of self-discovery and growth. Each episode of suffering is an occasion to reinvent ourselves, to push our limits and embrace the latent potential that resides deep within our being. Creativity and artistic expression, like a balm for the spirit, provide many of us with a healthy way to channel pain. In the midst of suffering, emotions often become overwhelming, and it is through mediums such as painting, writing, music, and other art forms that we find a refuge to process those intense emotions. The color palette becomes a canvas to capture our internal struggles, words on a blank page become a river of thoughts and emotions, and music becomes the language of our heart. Through creativity and artistic expression, we bring our painful experiences to life in a way that goes beyond words and allows us to connect with our deepest selves. The transformation of pain into a powerful form of expression is like the alchemy of art. Every stroke, every word, every musical note becomes a part of our healing narrative. Instead of allowing pain to imprison us, we use it as an engine to create beauty out of chaos. Creativity not only helps us release pain, but it also gives us a sense of empowerment and control over our emotions. Through artistic expression, we become the narrators of our own stories, the conductors of our own emotional symphonies. It allows us to find meaning in the chaos, beauty in the storm. Support and community, as the foundation of our strength, are vital in the process of transforming pain into a source of empowerment. In the midst of suffering, the burden can seem overwhelming, but when we open our hearts and share our experiences with friends, family, or support groups, we find a refuge that gives us much-needed understanding and solidarity. In this act of openness and vulnerability, we allow others into our world of pain and often discover that we are not alone in our struggle. The bonds of empathy are strengthened, and we find comfort in each other's company. The shared burden becomes lighter, and the pain less burdensome. Emotional support becomes a balm for the spirit, a source of relief and healing. Through words of encouragement, comforting hugs, and the loving presence of those around us, we find the strength to heal and move forward. In the midst of the storm, support becomes a beacon of hope that guides us through the troubled waters. The community of support, whether in the form of close friends, supportive family members, or specialized support groups, becomes a refuge and a space for growth. Here, we find validation of our experiences and inspiration to continue fighting. Every story shared, every word of encouragement, reminds us that we are interconnected beings, that we are not alone in our battles. Gratitude, like a hidden gem in the midst of pain, can illuminate our path to strength. When we face suffering, we often discover a new perspective on life and the good things we have. Grief teaches us to value more deeply what we often take for granted. Gratitude becomes a compass that guides us through difficulties. Instead of focusing solely on the pain, we learn to look around and be grateful for what we still have. It's a reminder that, even in the midst of trials, we are fortunate to have elements of beauty and love in our lives. Gratitude doesn't deny pain, but it allows us to find a balance between suffering and beauty. It reminds us that life is a tapestry of experiences, both bitter and sweet. In the midst of difficulties, gratitude becomes a source of strength, a soft voice that tells us that we are not alone and that life remains beautiful despite adversity. The practice of gratitude invites us to reflect on what we value most in life. It helps us recognize the everyday blessings we sometimes overlook and find a renewed sense of purpose and meaning. Through gratitude, we discover that grief can be a reminder of the fragility of life, but also of its beauty. Forgiveness, as an act of soul liberation, can be a powerful step in the process of transforming pain into strength. When we face the suffering caused by others, forgiving those who have hurt us becomes a path to healing and inner strength. Resentment and anger, like chains that bind us to the past, can be an overwhelming emotional burden. By forgiving, we release those chains and find the strength to heal and move on. Forgiveness does not mean forgetting or justifying the pain we have experienced, but freeing ourselves from the weight of revenge and bitterness. Forgiveness is an act of self-compassion, a gift we bestow upon ourselves. By releasing resentment, we allow peace and serenity to flow through us. Instead of being trapped in a never-ending cycle of suffering, we find the strength to move forward with grace and dignity. This process of forgiveness is like an act of alchemy of the heart, in which pain turns into understanding and compassion. As we forgive, we break free from the bondage of the past and find a renewed sense of freedom. Forgiveness empowers us to take charge of our own lives and build a brighter future. Forgiveness becomes a source of inner strength. It reminds us that we are capable of healing and freeing ourselves from the past, that the power to transform pain into an act of compassion lies in our own hands. It is a testament to the human capacity to find peace in the midst of the storm and a celebration of the resilience of the human spirit. Forgiveness becomes a beacon of hope that lights the way to a fuller, more authentic life. In short, transforming pain into strength is a journey that encompasses acceptance of adversity, learning through experience, resilience as a guide, shared empathy, and redefining a deeper purpose. As we immerse ourselves in this process, we discover an inner strength that lies deep within us, a strength that grows as we overcome trials. Overcoming adversity and the ability to turn pain into a source of personal growth and empowerment are the foundations on which we build a fuller and more authentic life. On this journey of transformation, we have explored together how to turn pain into a source of strength. Through acceptance, learning, resilience, empathy, and redefining a deeper purpose, we have unraveled the mysteries of this profound transformation. Remember that overcoming adversity and the ability to turn pain into growth and empowerment are a testament to your inner strength. There is always a light in the midst of darkness, and the resilience of the human spirit shines brightest when we embrace pain and transform it into a source of wisdom and strength. So, boldly move forward on your transformation journey. May this path guide you to a fuller and more authentic life. I say goodbye, but not before reminding you, we are strong, we are women, we are stoic.